In this video we're going to continue our set. So we're going to build a house. So I'm just going to go 7 and just left click in here, and I'll come down and add a cube, of course, and I'm just going to go tab to go into edit mode and go S and scale that up. I'll go 1 and just move it up. I'm just going to zoom in and go Z for a sec, and go G to move it, and go Z to move it up to lock in the Z axis. And I'm just going to position it on the ground plane there. Now I'm going to I'll go 1 again, and I'm just going to switch on my 3D cursor, and I'll go into scale mode. I'm just going to scale that down. I might scale it in this way a little bit, and I'll move it down a bit. I'm going to change my pivot point back to medium point. I'll go Z again. I'm just going to go tab and go M and move this to a new layer, and we'll just go to that layer and switch off all the others. So I just left clicked on this layer panel down here. I'll go tab again, so I'm in edit mode. I'll go 1, and what I want to do is, this is a solid cube at the moment, I want to cut out the middle, so I've created some walls. So I'm going to create a copy of itself by going Shift D and right clicking so it goes back into the same position, and then go S and scale that down a little bit. Now I can't see it anymore, so I'm going to go Z, so I go into wireframe, and that looks a bit small. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Now I want to cut out the ceiling as well. I'm going to use this new cube to cut a hole in the original cube. So I'm going to just change my pivot point back again to 3D cursor, get the scale tool, just scale it up a bit so it overlaps the what will be the roof. So it cuts that out as well. Let's go Z again so we can see it a little bit more. Now at the moment these are the same object, so I want to make it a different object by going P and by selection. Now I'll go tab, so I'm back in object mode, and we've got 2 objects. I could have actually done that in object mode, copied it, etc. But we're there now. So I click on the original object. I'm going to go to the Modify tab, which is a spanner, a little icon, and we're going to add the Boolean modifier, third one down on Generate. Now this is used for cutting. You can use one object to cut another object. So we're going to find the last cube, which will be this one, and use it as the object. And I'm going to change this operation to difference. You can also join objects together. So I've changed the difference. I'm going to just click on the new cube and go H to hide it. And you can see it's cut some walls for me. Now I'm just going to go Alt H so we get it back. And I'll go Z so we're in wireframe again. Now you can see that our walls are a bit thicker, top and bottom. So I'm just going to scale the object. It's scaling from here because we've still got our 3D cursor on, pivot point, so we'll switch that off. Back to medium point. And we'll scale that up so the walls look even all sides. Now for some reason they're not, probably because of our pivot point here, so we'll just do it by eye. Maybe tad more. You can hold the shift key to slow down the widget tools. Okay, that looks pretty good now. Now this was a modifier, so that cut wasn't permanent. If I click back onto the original cube again, I can actually apply that. And we'll just hide that again, the second cube. And you can see it's cut my walls in the house. Okay, so I'll unhide the second cube by going Alt-H to get it back. I'll go 7, so I'm in a top view. I'll go S and scale that down. I'm going to create a window out of this now. I'm going to use it to cut through this wall over here. So let's create a couple of windows here. I'll just scale this down. Let's go Control through. Actually, let's make sure we're in the correct window. We are. So that's good. And I'm overlapping these. You have to overlap the objects when you want to use them as a boolean. So I'm going to go, I want to make all of these objects the same. So I'm going to go Tab, so I'm in edit mode. Let's try that again. Tab, so we're in edit mode. I'll go 7. I'll go A to select that cube. And I'll go Shift D and drag a second one off, and I right click just to stop it from moving, and I'll just position the second window. Having a look, that looks pretty good. Let's go 7, we'll create one more. So I'll go Shift D, I'll right click, I'll move it out this way, and just so it's the same size, I'll go, looks pretty much square, but let's go rotate 90 and move it down into this position here. Okay, so we're creating a few windows. We'll put a door in here later. Let's go Tab to go back into object mode. And again, we're going to use that boolean to cut these window shapes out. So I'll click on the original walls, our actual house, come back to the modifier tab, and come down to boolean, and add that cube again. Now you see that's intersect. That's a union where it's joining them together, but we want difference where it actually cuts it. Now you can't see the cut because this is covering it up. I'll just go H to hide it for a sec, and you can see that it's created our windows for our house. I'll go Alt H to get my windows back, go Tab to get into edit mode again, and I'll go 7 here to go into top view. I'll go Z just so I can see this a little bit clearer. I'll deselect this window, or this cube, sorry, by, no, I'm not actually in edit mode. Let's try that again. So we're going Tab to get into edit mode. I want to select these two, so I'm going to go A, go L and L, and I want to scale these down. Now what we're actually doing here is creating window panes, but we haven't actually applied these windows yet, so let's do that before we change it. We'll click on the original window and we'll just apply that boolean. Now we'll click on this object and go Tab, and we'll scale these down because we're creating the inside part of the window now, the window pane. I'll keep it a bit thicker than it really will be. I'm going to move that into position. You won't see the inside of this house, it's just a set. I'll go A and select this one by going L, and we'll scale it down as well and move it into position. Now let's go tab, and while we've got this object selected, we'll go to the materials editor. We'll go plus and new. We don't really have to name it because it's only under one object. We'll give it a slightly blue colour. We'll make it quite glossy, quite specular. We'll come down to transparency. We'll switch that on, and we want to drop the alpha. We're getting a preview here down to maybe about 300%. 0.3, sorry, on the transparency. We'll make it less blue than that. Let's bring it into the middle, just so it's got a fine sort of blue. Let's put some reflection on it as well. So we'll come down to mirror, switch mirror on, and up the reflectivity just a bit. About 0.2. Okay. Not having a great effect because it's transparent. Alright, let's go Z, and you can see we've got, looks a little bit better. We've got some windows. Let's just create a quick door. So we'll go 7. Let's go wireframe, so I just went Z so we can see it. I'll left click over here. Let's put a new cube in. And we'll go tab, so we're going to edit mode. We're going to scale it out, so it's sort of door width. We'll scale it up. Bit tall. In fact, let's line it with the top of this window here. So I'll just left click on the bottom, change the 3D cursor, change to the scale tool, and hold the shift so I can slow that scale down. Well, it's not too bad, just doing it by eye. Okay, now we'll just widen that a bit so that it overlaps the wall. We'll go 7 to check. We'll just change our pivot point back to medium point. We'll move that so it overlaps the wall. Rotate to a 3D view. We'll go tab, and we'll click on the original walls again. Go to the modifier. Remember, you apply the boolean to the actual house walls. We'll apply another boolean to that. Again, it'll be the last cube. I'm not naming these. You could name them, but I'm not bothering. That's the intersect. We'll go to difference. We'll just hide that for a sec to check. Whoop. Hit the right key, and that looks pretty good. Let's go Alt H to get it back, and let's apply that on the walls. We'll go to the door. We'll make this a door now. So we're using the object. We cut the hole to create the object as well. Let's just go 7, check the width of that by going Z. Thought it was still a bit too thick. Let's make it like about so thick. Okay, let's go Z and have a look. And that's looking quite okay. Let's put a texture on this object. So we'll go to the material, or material I should say. We'll go plus and new, and we'll click on the diffuse color. We'll make it a brown, dark brown. We'll just drop the specularity a little bit. Now we haven't got a material on the wall, so I'm just clicking on it, plus and new. Let's make it a light green, pale sort of green. Okay. Now we want to put a roof on our building. So I'm going 7 to go to top view. I'm going to go Z so I can just see where the walls are. And just roughly clicking in the middle, I'm going to add a cube. And I'll go S and scale that out. I'll change to my scale tool. And we want to just center that. Just doing this by eye. There. Move it over a smidge. Okay, so that looks okay. It's going to be wrong this way. So let's scale it right down. Being careful not to pull it inside out, of course. And if you do, you just need to flip the normals. Okay, let's go Z again so we can see. So that looks reasonably good. Let's go tab, so we're going to edit mode, and I'll go Control R just to put a cut around the middle like so. I'll right click. And I'm just going to select that edge and just drag it up to create our roof. I'll go tab and I'll come across here and the materials tab, go plus, new, and give it maybe a terracotta sort of colour. I'm going to drop the specularity down again. Alrighty, so that's pretty much our house. I'm just going to switch on our other layers there to have a look. Okay, so in our next video we might look at some grass here and maybe put a tree in. See you then.